Guys, the Sultan is back. As the saying goes, "Khoon mein tera mitti, mitti mein tera khoon." In your blood, earth is there. And in the earth, your blood is there. The hard work that you put in. And that's the Sultan of Astrology, Visti Larsen. The hard work he has shown us, what he's put in. Thank you, Visti, once again for coming.
Thank you. Namaste. Thank you for a lovely introduction.
No, you are the star, the superstar of astrology. And hats off to your hard work and your guru's blessings. I mean, hats off.
Thank you very much. Obviously, my Guruji is the star and I'm the starlet. And it's my pleasure to be back with you again, and still not used to the Sultan.
They call you. I'm telling you, I've had phone calls from my friends and non-friends, etc. Associates rather. And they tell me, "Man, where did you find this guy?" I said, "He was always there. You were all looking at the wrong place." He was famous in Yahoo groups way back from 2002. It's just that he's been there. We've been looking at the wrong places.
Well,
thank you, Phyllis, my dear, dear sweetheart, for bringing back Visti Larsen to us.
I respect Visti a great deal. He has taught me so much.
Yeah.
A wonderful teacher.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I appreciate, Visti, you replying to the comments in the YouTube channel and helping people,
My pleasure.
Because some of those questions are so technical, it's really, really tough. So I appreciate doing that.
I appreciate getting good technical questions. I have a small thing to say before we get started.
Sure.
I read an anecdote which is a prevalent belief for many in India. I almost to the extent that people think it's a somewhat of some bit of a rumor or slander about what happens when one works and studies or practices astrology. And there's this rumor or this saying which goes from which is going long back in India, that if you practice astrology, it can cause difficulties in one's life to the person practicing.
Okay? Can you repeat the last part? In the marriage life or?
In all parts of life.
Exactly. This has been going on, and it's come to such an extent that we tend to believe in it.
Mm-hmm. Now, it's not entirely wrong, but it's also not entirely right. So I'm going to clarify today what this means, all right? Because this is something we are taught when we start practicing Jyotish. Our Guru teaches us this, okay? He teaches, when you're going to help somebody, when you're reading their chart, when you're going to predict about their life, you're doing many things. The advice you give them can lead the person to go on a certain path, which maybe you as the astrologer never intended. Mm-hmm. Because what is happening is when a person is coming to you, they are carrying certain karmas they have done in the past or they're about to perform. And what the astrologer does when they receive that client is that they become responsible for their gati, their direction. And with that, there are some grahas which are associated, that gati, okay? And if there are some bad karmas which are coming up or have already have occurred, the astrologer who is helping the person who has done bad karma is accommodating the bad karma. As a result of which the astrologer takes on their karmas. See the problem? Now imagine that you did not know this, all right? You're seeing clients all the time, day in, day out, many clients you're having.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them you're taking on karmas and you did not know they had performed such karmas. Some bad karmas, most likely, if we have to be attentive of them. Then your life is going to start getting troubled because every day you're having to do japa for different types of devatas or grahas which are troubling you because of your clients.
Yeah.
So how to know who is carrying what karmas? when you get a request to read a chart, when you get the request, forget when you see the person for the reading. When you get the request, an email, a message, a phone call, you draw a chart, a Prashna chart.
That's what I've been doing for so long.
All right?
Yeah.
You draw the Prashna chart. And in that Prashna chart, see the 12th house. See only the 12th house. Your first decision to whether read this chart or not is that 12th house. If there is a predominance of malefic influences there, that means too many malefics, more than their benefic influences. Tell the person, this is not the time to read the chart. Please come back in 3 months. Please do japa of this mantra.
Okay.
And then you are not going to be bothered by those malefics.
Oh.
Okay? Then they come back after 3 months and say, I've had 3 months. You draw another Prashna chart. Has it changed? If it has not changed, say, I'm sorry. If they've sent money, send it back. Say, I'll talk to you in a year. Continue the japa. Okay? Because that is how you escape the bad karmas which can come. That is how you avoid putting yourself in a miserable position as an astrologer. All right? You need to know what karmas they're carrying. If they're carrying good karmas, please do the reading. You will also share in that good karma.
Yeah. In fact, in Kerala, similar system is maintained, but they use 3 more additional houses. But this is good, of telling them to come back in 3 months.
Yes. You want to help them, right?
Yeah.
But the point is, what would the Raj Jyotisha do? The Raj Jyotisha is obligated for the king, to the Raj. So let's say some major politician, let's say Modi is your client, okay? You cannot say no to him. Modi comes and says, look, Sunil, please read my chart. All right. By then, you have already done the Prashna and everything, and you said, Mr. Modi, Maharaj, I must ask you for some dakshina to do the japa for these malefic grahas which are there in the Prashna. Okay? And you will take dakshina for that, and there may be some malefics because he's a politician. They do bad karma sometimes, unfortunately. And you will do japa for those grahas so that you can do the reading of the chart.
Ah.
Yes. But the problem is, do you want to do japa for all your clients?
You got it.
See the point? So you can, as an astrologer, if you're busy doing japa all day, I don't know how much time you'll have for reading the charts, you can do this practice. Or you know what karmas they're carrying, and before you even say one thing to them, you say, okay, hold on. You do this japa, come back in 3 months. Okay?
So bottom line is, we do get some of the karmas of our clients.
Yes, both good and bad. So make sure that if you have to share in karmas, make sure you're sharing in the good karmas. Because the fact is, all karma on the soul is called vachika karma. The highest karma of the soul is vachika. In fact, no other karma affects the soul other than vachika karma. There are 3 types of karmas. All right?
Please explain, please.
There is karma of the body. All right? Then there's karma of the mind. And then there's karma of the soul. Karma of the body is the actual act that you're performing with your hands or any other body part. Okay? Karma of the mind is the thoughts you're having. But karma of the soul, how do you affect that? How do you affect the karma of the soul? By what you say. Or in other words, what you agree to. All right? So when you tell a client, yes, you can buy this house. All right? But them buying the house, they have to kill somebody to buy it. Okay? That's possible. You have agreed to them killing somebody. The astrologer who said you can buy this house has agreed to the killing also. All right? They have agreed to it. That karma goes straight on the soul of the astrologer. All right? When you say, let us say, there's people talk about vegetarianism and all. All right? And then there's some people who say, but look, I didn't butcher the animal, so how am I to be blamed for the butchering? The butcher who is yielding the knife is only having bodily karma.
Right.
Okay? Anu karma. But the person who agreed to him killing the animal is having vachika karma on his soul. So if you employ somebody and say, you are going to kill that animal, but I'm not going to wield the knife. You are more responsible than the person wielding the knife.
Exactly. Exactly.
So when you go and buy meat in the stores, you're actually more responsible for the killing of the animal whose meat is there than the person who has butchered the animal.
Correct.
Because you agreed to it. Vachika. So what you agree to is on your soul. So as an astrologer, our main karma is vachika. Everything we say, everything we tell a person to do and agree to is coming directly on our soul. So make sure the person is going to be following a good gati in life, lest whatever they hear you say does not cause them to do bad karma. And we can check that in the prashna.
You know,
This is the gati.
yeah, Phyllis. Yes, Phyllis. You have a question?
I don't so much have a question as I am very grateful for this sidebar that you have taken, and I know that many other people are going to be as well. I mean, this is a phenomenal contribution, Visti, that you're making to a lot of people.
My pleasure.
Now, I do have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a mantra that we could use, a general mantra, when we miss and for what we've done in the past? Because I can tell you I read charts that I shouldn't have read.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It depends on the karma.
Is there something like the one of the shorter mantras? Is there like Om Jam Sa? Is there something that should become part of my thinking process as a protection, not only for me, but to ensure that I do the best for my clients?
By far the best mantra that most of the astrologers that you read of in the text have clinged to are mantras which are associated with Shiva. And basically the Panchakshari mantra of Shiva is the pivotal mantra when it comes to keeping oneself pure, keeping oneself clean, ensuring that the karmas of oneself and others is staying clean. So I would have told you the Panchakshari, Namah Shivaya.
Right. Now, I need to ask something about this. Mm-hmm. I have been in association with a Sanskrit scholar, mm-hmm. and they suggested to me that Om is a separative mantra, that by using Nam Om in any mantra, I'm separating. That one is better off to use Namah Shivaya than Om Namah Shivaya. Is that so?
When you have to do the Panchakshari mantra with Om, it implies that if you're adding Om to it, that you have received Diksha of the mantra. Okay?
That I'm receiving Diksha?
That you have received Diksha. You can, Om Namah Shivaya is a Dikshita mantra. You cannot do it just like that. It is requiring Diksha to give full fruits, full effects. All right? That's why I didn't say Om Namah Shivaya. I said Namah Shivaya. Okay? Because some people out there don't have Diksha of the mantra. And those who have Diksha say, I'm going to add Om. So I'm fine with that. And
for the sake of the audience, especially the young ones, Panchakshari mantra, Pancha means 5.
5 syllables.
Panchakshari mantra means 5-syllable mantra. Vishti, please correct me. Yeah. Namah Shivaya, na, ma, 1 and 2, Shivaya, 3, 4, 5. So that becomes Panchakshari. Am I right?
That's correct. That's correct.
I should have known that.
And when you add Om to it, it is Om is considered the Sukshma Panchakshari. Sukshma means subtle. All right. See, why is Panchakshari given? Because it consists of the 5 syllables which will make you eventually go to Om. Namah Shivaya leads to Om. All right?
Yeah.
And it's called Stula Panchakshari. Namah Shivaya is called Stula Panchakshari. It means gross. It's not as a negative gross, but rather manifesting in this world, like the 5 elements. All right? Om is supposed to have 5 parts. Some people say it only has 3. It has 5 parts. And that is called the subtle, the sukshma, the more inert Panchakshari. And people will, the tradition has been that when a person is growing up, a young person, then the first mantra we give them is Namah Shivaya. And they are supposed to do this practice for some time until they settle themselves career-wise, financially, in matters of their private life, everything, with Namah Shivaya. Then, after some time, when you see that they're ready to go further in matters of their spiritual progress, then they should be initiated into Om Namah Shivaya. Because then they're ready for the things they've manifested in this world to start affecting them more spiritually, more personally. And therefore they will perform Om Namah Shivaya and also meditate on Om. Okay? Om is also called the Upasana mantra. It makes you sit down. It makes you sit stably. So you should sit down whilst practicing this mantra. You should not walk around.
No.
A person who is busy walking around and working is not having Om in them. They have to sit down still. It causes a person to study. It's a great mantra for studying. Om. When should you practice it? Not in the daytime. Only at night. At least the mantra Om. Mantra Om, night. Or what we say when the sun is not in the sky. So before sunrise is best. Okay?
Really?
And,
I've heard that.
I've been doing it in the morning. I wake up and I start the audio of Om for an hour or two.
I'll tell you why I said that. It's because Om is a bija. It's a singular syllable mantra. And bija mantras are used for meditation. Meditation is a 12th house practice. I'm going to give you the Jyotish behind it. It's a 12th house practice. Now, if you tell the sun god, go to the 12th house, what's going to happen to your money, your income?
It's gone.
So who practices meditation in the daytime when the sun is in the sky? Sadhus practice that. All right? People in the ashrams practice that. Sannyasis, nuns, whichever. So when we do meditation, especially on meditation, the sun should not be in the sky. When is the best time for you to learn meditation? At night, the evenings, after sunset. When is the best time for your personal practice? Before sunrise. So you're creating the day with the mantras that you're practicing, especially meditation mantras. So the reason I said it should not be practiced when the sun is in the sky is because it is a mantra used for meditation. So eventually anybody who starts doing Om, Om, Om will start closing their eyes and go inside and start meditating. And that's not appropriate in the daytime. It causes loss of wealth.
You're bang on. You're bang on. You know, the time I started this. Just see, you are love of my life, yeah. From the time I started this, okay. Yes, in the morning I do that. I sit quiet. Then after some time I'll do Kapalabhati, pranayam. You know, I do that. I started that recently. But yes, losses of wealth has been happening from the time I've been doing that. So even I can't hear it. Morning time, after sunrise, I should not hear it.
Hearing is a type of japa. Okay. The problem that I'm only reflecting on in this is that it leads to meditation. Okay. And if you want to practice meditation, let it not be when the sun is in the sky. But I'm not saying you cannot do japa. Japa you can do in the daytime. All right. Japa practices, pujas are done in the daytime, no problem. You can do that. It is meditation I'm referring to only, the dhyana practice.
Okay. Okay. This has been a great discussion, and I'm itching to ask you a question. It's been for months, you know, I've been wanting to ask you a question. I know we need to go to Vara, but I'll make this a separate video, and Vara is a separate video. But now, you know, many of us say, Then he said, please think on this fundamental question of astrology. Why are you born in so-and-so Lagna, Taurus Lagna, Karka Lagna? Why not in some other?